I'm not sure there's a more important ingredient in business success than having some clear and compelling reason that prospects should buy from you instead of all the others who sell or do what you do. But man, has that become difficult. Whatever you say makes you so different, most of your competitors say just about the same thing. And even if you do have something that's unique, I'll bet most of your prospects probably can't tell the difference. And when customers can't figure out what makes anybody different, on what basis do they buy? You got it. Price. And none of us want to keep fighting that battle. So how do you win in this type of copycat commoditized world? That's our topic for this video. It's interesting, when you look at those companies who manage to stand out year after year in industries that are mostly commoditized, what you find is that those who succeed in these environments don't win because of what they offer. No, they win because of how they go about offering it. It's how their people work with customers, with each other, and even with vendors and suppliers that sets them apart. There's a great book on this topic. It's called Winning Behavior: What the Smartest, Most Successful Companies Do Differently, by two authors named Terry Bacon and David Pugh. According to their research, quality products and competitive pricing are the minimum requirements just to be in the game. But these are relatively easy to copy. Real and lasting differentiation comes not from the product, but from the actual behavior of the employees, or what they call behavioral differentiation. To be clear, I'm not suggesting that you shouldn't be innovative. It's just that coming out with new products and services, at best, gives us a short-term window of opportunity. Remember that our competitors aren't all stupid. I mean, if you're making money doing what you're doing, how long do you think it's going to be until they copy it? And then we're all back to zero again. Unless you're Apple or Tesla, and most of us aren't, betting that you're going to come up with something that's totally new every year or two, that's a pretty questionable strategy. One of my favorite companies is the Ritz-Carlton hotel chain. They're an amazing company, and they've stood out from their competition for years because of the way that their team members treat guests. Well, Ritz-Carlton offers classes that you can take. I've actually been there, where they'll teach you all their secrets to success. Think about that. You could be the Hyatt Regency, and you could go to Ritz-Carlton, and they'll teach you how to do everything that they do. How many of us would invite our competitors in and say, hey, here, let me show you everything that we're doing to be successful? That seems crazy, doesn't it? So why would they do that? Here's why. Because knowing what to do and actually doing it are two entirely different things. You see, the way their people operate is so baked into the DNA of their culture that they're not the least bit worried that you're going to be able to copy it. It takes a level of commitment that most people in most organizations just aren't going to do. Now, let's think about your company and my company. If we could somehow get our people to be better than our competitors' people in how they treat customers and how they do their own work and how they work as a team, not only would that be the biggest differentiation that we could create in this commoditized world, but I'd argue that it's the most sustainable advantage that we could possibly create. Because as Ritz-Carlton knows, even when our competitors know that's how we're winning, good luck copying us. And if you somehow can, it's going to take you years to pull it off. So what's the single factor that most drives how our people behave? You got it. It's our culture. And that's why I say all the time that working on your culture isn't an HR topic, and I mean no disrespect at all to HR professionals. But this is a strategic and financial topic. It's about creating a long-term, sustainable, competitive advantage in a commoditized world. When you look at your leadership priorities, what could possibly be more important than that? Can we really afford to kick this can down the road, waiting till things slow down a bit and we don't have so much on our plate? Whether I like it or not, as the CEO of my company, I'm the Chief Cultural Officer. Driving our culture as a competitive advantage is one of my top priorities. How can it not be? What are you doing to move culture to the top of your list?